Yo guys, what's going on? It's Light Show. I am here today to show you a cool tutorial of a piano. As you guys can see, it's a piano. Alright, as some of you guys have seen in my TikToks, this is a piano. Basically, it does everything a digital piano does, including writing and reading notes and then storing them to be replayed. Unfortunately, this thing does have its limitations. It doesn't have preset songs in because I think I did enough. But we're gonna get into how exactly this is made, and by the words of a very famous Redstone man.
Actually really quite simple.
Alright, so some of you guys already know this information, but to cover all the bases, I'll go over it again. There's 23 notes, which is 23 of these individual pressure plates. There are 42 recordable slots, which is, as if you guys look up here, you'll notice that there seems to be slots. Yeah, there's 42 of these, which means you can store 42 notes or 42 brackets more easily, and all that combined is 966 bytes of storage data. So the way that this works really is kind of yes and no situation. So each one of these brackets is 23 individual yes or no gates. So as you guys can see, there's 23 of them, and you can see one of them's pushed in over here. And basically this is the written data. This is the data that I wrote down. And as you can see, the others aren't written down. And when we go to the next one, there's another written one. And you could do that till the end of time or until we got to the other side of this. And to make this look a lot easier, I've prepared a few little examples over here. So first one we have is the if-then. Basically, this is which line should be recorded. You could see this, it's right here. But we pulled one out. So this is basically just testing 3 different lines of data, and when this button is pressed, when this function is going, it's basically getting ready to read, and then move on to the next section to read that data. So this is the reader right here, and you guys could see that when I flip a lever, you'll notice that this little sand will go from basically being nothing to it'll cover this up, and then usually there's repeaters here, and then this will go in, and you guys can see right here, it'll go in and turn these lights on. What these lights do is basically it drops this, whenever I'm playing a note, you'll notice that each one of these pistons right here will drop down one. Well, if these repeaters are on and this piston drops, then it'll drop this piston, and since it's not a sticky piston, it'll stay down, and that's how it reads data. It's actually pretty simplistic, is as one would say. So of course, the next stage is when you want to read the next one, and the way that that's done is simply pushing the button again. And as you guys can see, the sand block will go from testing to see if any of the pistons go down to pushing down here, and you'll notice that this would usually connect to this, which would then go on to the next string of this, and then this would immediately activate the next sand block, and you guys can see all the sand blocks are down. And this little repetitive pattern would basically allow you to go on to the next row of pressure plates, and not pressure plates, the next row of pistons, and it'll allow you to go throughout the entire machine and write your own song. And the second part we have here is the situational bit data reader and writer. So this is the brains of it all. This is in its simplest form a bit of data. And the way that it works is when I push one of the pressure plates to play a note, this will go down and this will go back up. But you'll see nothing really happens because the reader isn't on. When the reader's on and you push the button, you'll see that it goes down and it pushes that, and then we can disconnect that, and you'll see that it stays down. And it'll stay like that until either the play the song button is pressed, and then it'll do this, and it'll play the song. Or if you want to reset everything, you just hit this, and then it's reset. And that's how the bit works. It can reset itself, it can write itself. And that's the 2 main components of the piano, and putting those components together along with a few lag barriers. The lag barrier is literally just a bunch of pistons that prevent one of these pressure plates from going down the very, very long line. And yes, that causes a lot of lag. That's like 40 something pistons pushed down in one go just with one of these pressure plates. So we can go ahead and hit the play button, and if we hit play, then it'll obviously start playing. As each one of these down the line, you can kind of see some of them if I go far enough. Well, you're likely to see them over here because it goes fast. But you can see it goes down the line, and if we go on this side, you might see a few pistons. There it is. So they like push down, and when that piston pushes down, it goes down this line, and it'll come out through this side, going up here and hitting each of these notes. And that's essentially how a piano works. Now we can go into the smaller details that I have added, such as this little section that's so freaking useful. So usually when you write data down, it's not hard to write data down when you're like, when there's only one bit or one section. But as you can see, there's a lot of sections and a lot of repeaters, which means that eventually it's going to take a while for this signal to get to the very end. And I don't want to accidentally end up hitting the note into the wrong bar. So what I've set up here is a simple little area on the record section, or the next slot section, where this redstone line will go all the way over here, and it'll activate this block right here. And what this will do is, let me give you a block real quick. This will cover this up, which will in turn turn this on, which tells me you don't press anything down yet. So eventually we'll, like, when you press the next slot, you'll wait for a signal to reach the very end, and then once it reaches the end here, it all clumps down into this one area, and then it pushes that block back, and this turns off, which tells me it's time to play. And I believe I have another function around here. This function, okay, the play function, what I do here is I convert this very long button press into a single tick, which is this is my preferred method of it. This is how I've done it since the beginning. I prefer this method of one tick. There's obviously different methods that I don't know about, but this is my preferred method. So this little line travels down here, and then it goes down here, and it's counted in 4-second intervals. So as you can see, it's like counted, so each one has its own little moment. And each one of these lines plays all of these, and then of course, you know, you could see where it goes from there. And it does that throughout the entire thing, and now the reset button, it's just the button press. You push the button, it comes down here, and then it turns all of these on, which causes all these pistons right here to push up. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but I just noticed that I didn't mention this, but basically the reset button is just about as laggy as the play button or the pressure plate lag barrier that I have set up. And in fact, the only reason I put up that lag barrier to begin with was because I accidentally hit the reset button and then I hit the pressure plates, which caused my entire game to crash, and I believe I had to reset my computer as well. So I just wanted to bring some light into that since I noticed this little error in my editing. Anyways, back to the explanation. Back up to where these non-sticky pistons are. And that's essentially the entire piano altogether. It's really, like I said, it's really simple when you break it down, but from a distance, it definitely looks very complicated. And that's how I did it. So if you guys like this video and you guys want me to make more cool redstone creations, or have your own personal redstone creation that you would like me to see me struggle on, then drop it in the comments, like and subscribe.